Hello to you all. Hello to you all. I trust that you're all doing okay. Um, all is well with me. I'm preparing myself to go to bed. Had a quick shower. Had my meal. I had today. I was in the mood for a yogurt, so I ate some yogurt. Uh, and yeah, and I'm about to retire for the day. But before I do, I have another snake story for you guys. So it goes like this. Let me give you the context for why I'm doing this story. So in Kenya, there are many tribes. Among them is the Kikuyu, from which I come. And one of my tribesmates was asking me, after reading some of my posts on narcissism and all the videos and whatnot, would you translate that word into the Kikuyu language, the word narcissism? Of course, he was trying to be facetious because he was implying these are just inventions of the West. They are irrelevant to us as Africans. But no, actually, I wanted to respond to him using another post, but I thought that a video would actually do more justice, because in the video, I'd be able to settle that issue with anyone, or for anyone who's struggling with the same. So the question was, does this apply to us, or is this just a Western phenomenon? Because we don't have words like narcissism in our languages and whatnot. This is my answer. So I will give you a short answer, then I will give you, I'll develop it. All right. So my short answer is that definitely the same traits were there, even among our clans, uh, even among our fellow tribes, our fellow neighbors, the different tribes that were living adjacent to us. It is not a new phenomenon in the world. The wording might be different, but in the Kikuyu language, or in the African setting, we used narrative rather than words to describe narcissism. All right, we used what the Swahili call wahenga. So the wise men, the sages, they had their own ways of discovering what narcissism was, although they did not use that word, but they used phrases and stories to describe it. And this is why I'm giving this snake story part 2, which goes like this. Now, in my language, there's a story about a kind woman who was walking home one day, and by the roadside, she saw a python which was starving to death. And the woman was an empath. She was filled with pity and feelings for the snake. Oh, you poor thing. And the snake was legit hungry. He was dying of hunger. He was starving. And the snake begged the woman to bring him into her care. And the woman was suspicious at first, because this is a snake, this is still a snake. You're still a snake, but you're starving, and you're in pain. You're in agony. Furthermore, the snake was pleading, begging for her help. She was capable of helping the snake because she had a house. She could shelter the snake. She had enough supplies in her fridge. She could feed the snake. And so after much pleading, the snake was able to convince her, because of her good nature, to take him in. Sorry. So the lady nursed the snake. The snake grew stronger by the day. The wounds that it had, she nursed them. The hunger that he had was taken care of, because she had a lot of food. If it's water, she gave him water, and the snake grew back to its former state, very strong, very capable. Until one day, when the lady had come back home, the snake suddenly seized upon her neck, coiled all around her, and constricted her to death. And as she was dying, the story goes like she was asking the snake, why? Why are you constricting me? Why are you killing me? I've been nothing but good to you. I've been kind to you. I have been a blessing to you. I have nursed you. I have nurtured you. If it were not for I, you would have been dead. But I give you life, you give me death. And in that Kikuyu narrative, the snake answers and says back to the woman, I know you have been kind to me. I know you have been the best. I know you have been nurturing. You have been caring. You have sacrificed. You have taken a lot upon your shoulders and even ignored and looked down upon the advice of others not to have me in your home. But you still took me in. And I thank you for that. What I'm doing is not personal. Don't take it personally. I'm constricting you, and I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to eat you. And it has nothing to do with what you've done or what you've not done. It has everything to do with my nature, because I am a snake. I can't help it. I cannot help myself. If I am in a position of power, I have to destroy you. I have to kill you. It's the way I'm wired. I can't help it. I'm trying to stop, but I can't. I have to kill you. Now, that's how the story goes. What our sages, our older men from generations past were describing was narcissism. They might not have been using that word, narcissist, but they were describing narcissism. Therefore, it is not only a Western phenomenon, and just because there are words that have been coined and phrased according to the West, it does not mean that we are learning, thereby inheriting their problems by learning their stuff. We have always been learning it. It's just that for us, it was through oral tradition, it was through narrative, it was through poetry, and the same applies to many other instances. So yes, we have been doing that. I have given you a snake story to answer my friend who was concerned about whether I'm just importing Western problems into our cultures. No, this is a worldwide phenomenon. We found it here. We will we will leave it here when we go. In the meantime, our task is to contend with it. Whether we will use narrative, whether we will use phrases and terms that have been coined, whether we will use other means that get discovered in the future. When we are addressing the same issue, as long as the problem is being solved, that should be your focus, because you cannot deny the reality of these people in the world. You cannot deny the reality of these people in the world. So yeah, that's just to give you that emphatic answer. That's my stand on where culture stands, especially African culture stands on this issue of narcissism. Another similar story to that was the scorpion and the frog, right? We still learn it in our cultures, where the scorpion wanted to cross the river, but the scorpion could not cross the river because it was flooded and the current was too strong. And the frog was a good swimmer who was able to do it. So the scorpion decided to wait and ask for his help the following day when he was about to cross the river. And when the frog came to cross the river, the scorpion convinced the frog, and the frog had his doubts. As always, we always suspect, you always have an instinct, you always have a gut feeling, but you ignore it. And the scorpion convinced the frog with words against the frog's natural survival instincts. And the frog said, I know you're a scorpion, but you have convinced me. So I will help you across because I trust your word that you will not sting me. Because you have said, if we get to the middle of the river, you won't sting me because we will drown. Therefore, I believe you. And the scorpion hopped onto the frog's back and they started to cross the river. In the middle of the river, the scorpion remembered that he was a scorpion, stung the frog viciously, and paralyzed him. And the frog said, oh, Mr. Scorpion, why are you stinging me? Why are you stinging me? You promised me that if I ferried you across, you would not sting me. But the scorpion said to the frog, Frog, it's not about your kindness. You've not done anything wrong. You have a good heart. You're helping me. You have a clean soul. But I can't help it. Even if I drown with you, I can't help it. It's in my nature. I am a scorpion. I have to sting. I just have to sting anything that is in my path. And they both drowned and died. And in fact, this is why you're told never to contend with narcissists, because a narcissist has no limit. You might think to yourself, I will show this guy, I will show this lady, I will teach them a lesson and they will come around. And now that will not happen. That will not happen, because it doesn't matter. Even if they will keep going and going until death. They have no breaks. Like if you start contending with them, you'd have to like kill them or something. So it's just the way it is. When you're dealing with these snakes, remember, the snake is the devil from the Garden of Eden. And that's why Jesus called all narcissists children of the devil. And that's why all the people he called the children of the devil, he called snakes. Because the children of the big snake are the children of Satan. They are simple, little, mini snakes who are imitations of their father. And that's how we must view them. You just can't do anything about it. I mean, you have to ask yourself in this snake story that Tim is sharing, do I believe Jesus? Do I believe him? You really have to ask yourself that question. Do you believe him? Because Jesus said, you guys are going to hell. He said it. He said of all the narcissists, you are going to hell. He did not deliver them. He delivered prostitutes. He delivered other demon-possessed people. He delivered the sick. He delivered all kinds of sinners. He delivered the thieves on the cross who were murderers. But narcissists, he never delivered. He already spelled out their fate while they were still alive on the earth. He said, you will not make it into heaven. He said, prostitutes will go into heaven before you. And he said, the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. He was talking to the religious leaders, the snakes in church. This is the second part, right? Yeah, it's your reactions from the previous video that have made me make this one. I don't know, I'll name it what? Snakes part 2 or what? I'll know. By the time I'm done with this video, I'll know how to name this video. But I had to give you first the answer to the cultural aspect of how it applies, how narcissism applies to us as Africans. And also continuing with that theme, because it's not about a culture issue. It's about a God and man issue. When we're dealing with narcissism, we're dealing with God and Satan. All right. So we're not dealing with humans who are weak. We are not dealing with humans who are sinners. We are all like that. We are dealing with two sets of people. One who are irredeemable, and that is why they never change. God has not given them the grace to change. He intends on punishing them. Oh, wow. All right, so yeah, just sleep on that. Let's continue subscribing to the videos. Yeah, guys, please subscribe to the videos. You take like 17-18 minutes to watch a video. Clicking a video is just 1 second. I don't understand why you don't click a like, why you don't click a subscribe. When you do so, the algorithm picks it up as a viral item, and it recommends it to others. If especially you're getting help from this, I would understand if narcissists are just watching so that they can, the way they watched John the Baptist preaching down there, just to try and bring him down. I can understand a narc watching all my vids. Narcissists will watch all my vids. You might not even be able to watch all of them yourself, but a narc will watch all of them and will never react, will never like, will never share, will never comment. I would understand if it's a narc. But if you know you're benefiting from these videos yourself, if you're benefiting from them in any way, please react on the video, okay? So that other people will find it recommended on their feed. And you never know who needs this message. It was someone who reacted so that you saw me the first time. All right, so yeah, let's keep doing this for the people. All right, we are coming out, we are setting empaths free, we are empowering ourselves. Yeah, and as I go to sleep, I think that will serve for a good snake story part 2. See ya.